Yeah.
Hello, boxing fans around the world. Thank you for joining us once again. Another edition of the Friday Night Panel featuring Mike Orr and Grumpy Graham. Here we are on Talkin Fight. And actually, I'm not so grumpy. I'm actually very excited for this weekend on several levels. First of all, no. It's your turn to speak. Go ahead.
All right. But before we get into this, today's episode is brought to you by the BetStamp app, which is helping thousands of people win at sports betting for free. The same way travelers are using Google Flights and Expedia to find the best prices, bettors can now use BetStamp to do the same. When you place a bet, the odds given by a sportsbook will determine how much you can possibly win, even when betting on the same outcome. Different sportsbooks will offer different varying payouts, and these differences can be huge. Thankfully, BetStamp allows you to easily line shop this most profitable odds across all sportsbooks. You can click on any matchup and instantly see all the different odds for the game lines, player props, and even future bets. Line shopping is the simplest way to find an edge in sports betting and maximize your chances of winning long term. On average, BetStamp users win an extra $1,000+ a year just by line shopping. You can find BetStamp app on Apple iOS Store, Google Play, or through your browser at www.betstamp.app. To access all these benefits, sign up using our promo code, Talkin Fight, and start your journey to successful sports betting today. If you forget to use that code upon signing up, you can always go back and enter our code into your BetStamp account afterwards, guys. Check it out. Again, betstamp.app/Talkin Fight.
Awesome. Yeah. I signed up. I am now am I a member now?
Yeah, I guess you would
be. But it's a great app. You basically surf back and forth and see who's giving you the better odds. So
it's I mean the odds can be huge. Honestly, you can have one place at -200 and the next one at +130 on the same bet, guys. Definitely great app. I've had some fun with it over the last couple of weeks on betting there. Busted off myself a 20-fight parlay.
So we'll be on Mike's yacht tomorrow.
Yeah, right. Right. If I keep using this to better my chances of winning, definitely will be on that yacht soon enough.
You know what? I'm not in a grumpy mood today because I learned something this week. Now, typically I learn something every day, but this week I had a bomb dropped on my head. Okay, I'm going through this Creator Clash list of fighters. Okay, and among one of the fighters' names I come across is Andrea Botez. Now, I'm not reading this off any script or anything, and I see that she's a former chess champ, and how she got into boxing, as in she's actually going to be boxing down at Creator Clash, where Jay and Yahtzee are at from Talkin Fight. They're on location right now.
I know.
But anyway, she's going into the ring, a chess player. I'm thinking to myself, chess player? What the heck is she doing boxing? Anyway, how she got into it was she used to play what's called chess boxing. I said to myself, what the is chess boxing? So I Google it because I have no clue. Okay. And unbelievably, I'm not kidding, they play a round of chess, take the chess table off the ring, go into a round of boxing, bring back the chessboard, play a round of chess, take off the chessboard, go into a round of boxing. If you checkmate your opponent, you win. If you knock out your opponent, you win. Don't leave it in the hands of the judges.
That's not. Hey, wow.
So talk about strategy. Anyway, so funnily enough, of all the people who Yahtzee down the press conference she interviews. So here's the funny thing: Andrea's actually from Canada, and I don't think our girl Yahtzee knew that. So anyway, she goes, as a former chess player, you must have a strategy in mind in order to defeat your opponent. And she goes, well, as a chess player, I don't give away my strategy, so I can't answer that question.
But as a boxer, I could knock the shit out of them.
Right, exactly. You see some fine tap dancing tomorrow.
Hey, well, anyway. they do say that boxing is 90% mental. So playing chess.
Yeah, well
both
done.
Kind of go hand in hand. Both combative sports there.
Well done. And before we launch into our typical array of discussions that evolve out of the fights that are upcoming, I must say, were you not impressed with that new boxing league that has been formed? Were you not impressed by that?
I was, yeah, that was pretty cool. A team of fighters.
A
Never,
team
never,
of fighters. They
yeah,
each play. I was going to say play around. They each go around, right?
yeah,
And a team with the most points wins at the end of the night. So
and each has a female. Each has a female on hand, right?
yeah,
Like,
and I believe it's in 8 cities right now, 8 American cities. They're looking to expand, and what a great innovation! I mean, it was a lot of fun to watch. Was it? I think it was Wednesday night. I
yeah,
showed it to you.
yeah. It wasn't it when you sent me that? I was like, "There's no way I'm missing this crap."
Yeah,
I was like, "There is no way that I am missing that." No,
this is
no,
too
no.
cool. So yeah, so some innovations in the sport of boxing, and bringing more fans to boxing in general. And I think as more and more fans come on board and realize what a great sport this is, and of course the other thing, Jesus, comes in threes, doesn't it? The other thing, we're always on about supporting the local community, supporting the local unknown, supporting those who are yet to be discovered,
Right.
supporting the up and comers, basically the underdogs, if you will, in boxing parlance. The underdogs are important not only to the betting outfits, but to the communities they serve. So anyway, along comes Sugar. So along comes Sugar today. Her and I have a meeting, and she goes, "I'm about to launch a league." I
Yeah.
said, "What?"
Yep.
So I started talking to her about some of the more technical issues with respect to because she was so impressed with what we had done with David Rajuli's fight, which we broadcast via the Netherlands remotely from our broadcast facility here in Toronto. So she said, "Can you do that for my fights that I'm putting on in this league that I'm creating?" Okay, so she's taking completely unknown boxers, male and female,
Mhm.
literally off the street, training them, putting them in the ring. And at the end of this, let's call it a season, she's going to pick and choose, I suppose, who are the best of the best, put them in the ring against each other, have a championship fight, and turn them pro. It's like, wow, that is cool.
Yeah.
That is putting theory into practice, and away we go.
Definitely. I've been asked to commentate and announce that. So that league, she's asked me to come down and be the voice. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Right?
Be the voice.
Be the voice. Be the voice.
You
Yeah.
are the voice.
I am the voice. I am the voice.
And quite frankly, the way it is these days, I mean, I hate to say it, but you could do it from your bedroom. I
I do everything from the bedroom, Graham.
was going to say, or from her bedroom. But anyway, that's great. Great news from Sugar. Great news from David Julian and his camp, who put on that fight last weekend. Great news from down south in Tampa, where JJ and Yetzi are covering Creator Clash. So nothing but great news this week, and it just keeps rolling in. We're getting bigger and better, I think.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. I'm a firm believer. We're getting way bigger and better. We're on to new horizons.
As big as the real big baby Jared Anderson.
Oh my God. Yes. Wow.
Did you hear what he said?
Yeah, he wants some real competition.
Oh yeah, but did you hear what else he said?
No, what else does he say?
After he's knocked out all that competition, okay, he wants to retire as world champion by the age of 26. He says he's done. He says he'll have made enough money. He'll have reached his goals. He's happy doing what he's doing. But
he ain't here to get punched in the face forever.
26 years old, he's out.
Wow.
I said, wow, that is cool.
That's good.
The guy is no dummy. Like he's basically saying, I'm not going to box till I'm like 45. He's he's in. He's going to win the world championship, and that's it.
And then bow out and live off those royalties.
Yeah, for sure. There's
Definitely.
a fellow right now who's 18 years old who wants to become what's his name again? He wants to become the youngest world champ, defeating Mike Tyson's record of becoming the youngest world champ.
He even canceled his birthday party.
Really?
Yeah, he canceled his own birthday party so he stays on point to be able to become the youngest world champ ever.
Ever.
So
beating Mike Tyson's record.
Yeah, beating Mike Tyson's record. So he's very, very determined to get in there and do that.
But for all our fans out there, can you or I remember his name? The heck was his name? I was just reading it the other day. Senior moment. Google it. Google it.
Okay.
All right. So let's get cracking on with the show. We've got some great fights to talk about, as we always do on Friday. It's what we do while other people are sleeping.
Right? Yes. Okay. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. So the fights that are underway.
Where do you want to start?
We're going to start Santiago versus Ortega. This one, April 14th, 9 p.m. Rene Santiago, Carlos Ortega, Junior Flyweight Showdown, streamed live and exclusively in the U.S. and on ESPN Plus. Streaming action from Panama City begins at 9 p.m. Eastern, guys. Santiago is 10-3 with 7 KOs and is a 31-year-old contender who debuted as a pro in 2014. He captured his first regional title in January of 2020 with a decision win over countryman Israel Vasquez. Following a near 2-year layoff, he defeated Jose Calderon via second-round TKO and suffered his third pro loss via unanimous decision against Udel Reyes in April of 2022. Santiago is coming off a controversial DQ win over undefeated contender Gerardo Zapata last December. And Ortega, who's 15-6-3 with 6 KOs, whose nickname means Little Spider, is a 14-year pro. He stopped Victor Barrero in the second round of their May 2022 matchup. Also in streaming action, Derek Cuves, the Fighting Pride of Puerto Rico, will defend his WBA junior middleweight title in a 10-round battle against Cuba's Damian Rodriguez, who's 13-1 with 7 KOs. Another one in here. We got Junior Bronco Man Mendez, 6-0 with 5 KOs and Costa Rica's Juan Carlos Chavarria, who is 6-1 with 6 KOs, will collide in an 8-rounder for the vacant WBC title. Also, Puerto Rican super middleweight knockout artist Luis J. Rodriguez Fernandez, who is 11-0 with 11 KOs, who, yes, I will be profiling eventually one day next week. So, yes, guys, you'll be hearing about him. Looks to make hit number 12 versus Ecuador's Roger Guerrero, who is 17-3-1 with 10 KOs in a 10-rounder. That one starts it off for the weekend. Latin junior flyweight title. What more can you want? When when these young guys get in there, these Latin Americans, when they get in there and fight, man, it's all heart, it's all destruction, it's all punches, it's all or nothing. That's exactly what it is. It's all or nothing for these guys. So that's going to kick it off. Then we hop over the pond to talk about the big one. The big one.
There's a big one.
This is a big one. Two juggernauts. Well, one is the juggernaut. Right. Two juggernauts will be going head-to-head starting at 2 p.m. Eastern time, guys. That is Joe Joyce and Zhang Zhang will fight. This one will take place. This one, I can't wait, man. This is one I've been waiting for all week. Joe Joyce, Zhang Zhang will face each other on April 15th at the Cooper Box Arena in London in a fight that could have major implications for the heavyweight division. So this is huge. You know what? I've been waiting for this, man. Joe Joyce, for me, I believe, is like one of the most avoided heavyweights today. He's got that gas tank that just doesn't quit. But on the other hand, we cannot count out Zhang. The guy is a beast as well, man. One of the biggest Asian guys I've ever seen. And definitely knows how to throw punches, man. And, you got to respect his power. He doesn't go in there recklessly. He is a southpaw too. That's more of a tricky style than what Joe Joyce is used to. The last southpaw he fought was Lenroy Thomas in his fourth fight, which was the Commonwealth title. So, this one's going to be good. I can't wait to see this one. Joe Joyce, one of the hottest prospects in the heavyweight scene, having knocked out former champion Joseph Parker in his last outing. 37-year-old Londoner has an impressive record of 15-0 with 14 knockouts right now and is the WBO interim title holder. He is also ranked as the number one contender by the WBO, meaning he could get a shot at champion Alexander Usyk in the near future. Yep. And Zhang Zhang, no pushover though, 39. Southpaw from China has a record of 24-1-1 with 19 knockouts, and is coming off of a close loss to unbeaten contender Filip Hrgovic. Zhang gave Hrgovic a tough fight, and many observers thought he deserved the win.
Yep.
Zhang also has a solid amateur background, having won silver medal at the 2008 Olympics and competed at the 2012 Games. Guys, this fight promises to be explosive, entertaining. Both fighters are big punchers who like to come forward and trade blows. Joyce has the advantage of size, power, and experience, but Zhang has speed, agility, and the southpaw stance that could pose problems for Joyce. Both fighters are also motivated to prove themselves and earn bigger opportunities in that crowded heavyweight landscape that's all clogged up, that we're waiting to see some things move around him. Who will emerge victorious in this battle of the Olympians? Will Joyce continue his unbeaten streak and move closer to a title shot, or will Zhang pull off that upset and make history for China? Guys, you're going to have to tune in to find out, so make sure you set your PVRs. Pay your damn cable bills, people. You're not going to miss this one. Make sure that you have the opportunity to see the battle of these titans, man. You're not going to want to miss it. Also, this one, it's on ESPN Plus in the US, BT Sports in the UK. The main event is expected to start around 10 p.m. local time, so that's 5 p.m. Eastern. The undercard features some exciting matchups, including Michaela Mara, Christina Lindartu for the WBO female junior lightweight title. Sorry. Lucy Wildheart. Yes, Lucy Wildheart, our girl, is in this one. This is the one. So our girl, Michaela Mara and Lucy Wildheart, will fight for the vacant WBC interim world light title. Wildheart, gotta love this girl, man. She has all heart. We've interviewed her a couple of times. She's been on the show. We've profiled her. What a great replacement. What a great replacement. She deserves this shot. I'm super excited to see her get in the ring and do what she does best, and that's kick ass. She definitely knows how to kick ass. Also, there's some some young up and coming kids on this card as well, man. Sunny Ali is on here. Ethan James, Moses Aituma. Don't want to miss that one.
He's 2-0. He's 2-0, and
I don't think he's been longer than 30 seconds in the ring, to be honest.
Yeah, I think he was undefeated as an amateur, and he's got a tough little competitor on his hands, but I think he'll be 3-0 by the end of the night.
Isn't he the one that wants to become the youngest ever, Moses Aituma?
It might be him. Yeah,
It is him because he's 18. And yes, this is him. Moses Aituma, the kid who wants to break the record, become the youngest heavyweight champ ever. Yes, Moses Aituma, 2-0.
Mike Tyson.
Yeah, 2 KOs, man. His last outing against Ramon Ibarra, man, that one lasted 35 seconds. His debut, Marcel Bode, that one lasted 23 seconds. So this kid hasn't even fought a full minute. This kid hasn't fought a full minute in his professional career. What can you say about that, man? This is going to be exciting. It'll be exciting, guys. No matter what, no matter how you look at it, it's going to be exciting. There's going to be some great knockouts on this card. There's definitely going to be a wonderful knockout of the week that you guys are going to have to tune in for on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to catch who we pick as the winner. We all know that, unfortunately, the Towering Inferno fell very, very hard last week and was the brunt of our knockout of the week. What an upset, but definitely deserving of a knockout. You guys have to go back and check it out. Definitely another great show. But yeah, that's all the boxing we got really for this weekend, except Creator Clash.
Right.
Creator Clash. Let's talk about Creator Clash for a few minutes, since that's all the boxing we're talking about at the moment.
Sure. No. I'm happy to talk about, although it's what they call influencer boxing. At the end of the day, these guys have spent, I mean, the quotes that I was reading off during my news show from these millionaires who don't need to box, but they're all either former athletes in some former sport, when they were younger type thing. They're all, but what they've done is they've spent their own money to train hard, uh, without the aid of their families. That's all boxers do. They go into these camps and see you later, and they're gone. And what I really like about all this is at the press conference, our girl Yetzi, she asked Alex Wasabi, who's going toe to toe against iDubbbz. She said, you realistically are doing quite well at boxing, and she knows her boxing. You're doing quite well, Alex. Would you consider a pro career? And he went, no, I'm doing this for charity. So at the end of the day, I mean, and we listed off the charities last week. So there's at least a dozen charities that are going to benefit from this boxing match that is being held at the Amalie Arena down in Tampa. And they've all sacrificed. They've all put in the effort. They've all spent their own money to hire these trainers, by the way. And actually, I think it was Andrew who said, so she's the former chess champion turned chess boxer, which I had to actually Google, and turned boxer now. Okay. I think she was the one who said, I've hired the best trainers on American soil, but they're all British. It's a pretty funny quote. Anyway, so as you can tell, I'm not grumpy at all. They've got some great looking fighters. Actually, just as a bit of trivia, they've actually got a former WWE wrestler in there, who's become a boxer.
Harley Mornstein. Is that?
Yeah, whoever, he's the guy who eats a lot. He's got that YouTube show where he just eats these hamburgers about this big, right? The guy who he's fighting, Harrigan, forget his name. He's about the only one that doesn't have a YouTube.
Yeah, Hennigan. John Randall Hennigan versus Harley Mornstein. This one's the 200-pound plus heavyweight.
Right.
Yeah.
The beauty of it is I don't think they need to I think they classify themselves by their zodiac signs.
Yeah. So we got Alex Wasabi, the Aries, taking on iDubbbz, the Libra.
Yeah.
And then we have John Randall Hennigan, the Libra, versus Harley Mornstein, the Virgo.
Place your bets, folks.
Right. And then we got Michelle Kerr versus Andrea Botez. That's Leo versus Aries. We got William Hines, Libra, taking on Chris Ray Gunn, Sagittarius. Harley Sphere, Libra, taking on Marisha Ray, the Taurus. Then we got Myth, Gemini, taking on Hundar, the Cancer. Aaron Hansen, Capricorn, taking on Jarvis Johnson, the Taurus. Mika, the Virgo, taking on Alana Pierce, the Virgo. Then we got Leon Hart versus Crank Gameplays. Aquarius versus Scorpio. That's my Aquarius, man. I'm gonna stick with him. So come on, Leon Hart, you better come through, man, and you better whoop Crank Gameplays. And then we got the Dad. We got Dad, man. The Aquarius, another good man there.
Yeah.
I'll take it on AB. Then we got Larry against Sabrina. That's Aquarius and Pisces. Wow, man, look at that. The Aquarius are all here, yo. My Aquarius people are in the house. Last three I've read off. And then we got Jack Manfold, the Leo, taking on Dakota, Olive, Scorpio. So yeah, they're all classifying themselves with their signs. You know what? It's going to make for great entertainment anyway. Anytime you get to see two people go toe to toe with gloves, even for charity, man, the charity is the winner at the end of the day.
And keep in mind, I mean, quite a few of those boxers exited the ring last year quite bloodied. I mean, they did not go at it lightly.
No, man.
Both the gals and the guys went at it toe to toe and didn't stop boxing for the entire time they were in that ring. It was a great show, and this one's going to be, I suppose, even better. They have more experience. They know. I hate to say it, but they know what they're doing now. But boy, they had a lot of fun. They had a lot of fun down at that press conference. They had a lot of fun at the weigh-in. They professionally answered all the questions. They made themselves available to the press, including Talking Fight, who had interviews with not only iDubbbz but several other of them as well, exclusively. So, I mean, they're setting an example for other boxers who need to recognize that, quite frankly, media, us, are just as important in this whole sport as they are. I mean, otherwise they'd be boxing in their basements,
Right.
and it's good for you. Now, speaking of boxing basements, what I thought we might get into this evening was a discussion about what ifs, because we were talking about Joe Joyce earlier, and I'm thinking to myself, Eddie Hearn came out and said a while back, he said, I've got 3 fights planned for Anthony Joshua this year, and then Anthony Joshua, after his half-hearted victory over Jermaine Franklin, tweets out, well, that's it for me. I'm done until December. Well, Barry Hearn, Eddie Hearn's father, turns around and says, wait a second. Anthony Joshua's on vacation. He's having a bit of a holiday, obviously. No, what he meant to say was he probably's thinking it'll be a fight in December, but not because he's not fighting any other time of the year. But anyway, so one of the what ifs that came out of that was, if Joe Joyce beats Zhang, it'll be interesting to see if Joe Joyce is fit enough to come back in July, which would make him 16-0, by the way. And I think, has he got 15 knockouts out of his 15? Is he that guy?
He's only not finished one person.
So he's a pretty good guy. And actually, I had a lot of fun watching him when he's being interviewed by Holly Donovan, because remember, he's the guy who, at the beginning of the interview, asked, "Can I?" Because she's like holding the microphone way up here like this.
She's on her tippy toes for that one, man.
Do you want me to pick you up, young lady? He seems like a gentle giant, but the guy's got a rock solid chin, and
hey, Joseph Parker learned that very quick.
Right. So
I don't know how many times he landed that signature overhand right on that chin.
So I'm just saying, I would like to see Anthony Joshua fight Joe Joyce if he beats Zhang. If he beats Jilai Zhang, I just think he deserves a shot at Joshua, which then eliminates who can fight who in that whole. Because Usyk, he's being mandatory to. Is it Dubois?
Yeah, Dubois, I believe.
But Dubois is in his twilight years anyway. So at the end of the day, yeah, Usyk's going to win that fight.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think they're going to age out, which not such a bad thing, but I just wasn't hoping it would be this year.
Listen, in the next couple of years, the entire top 10 of the heavyweight division is going to age out.
Yeah. But that just leaves room for Itoma, Jared Anderson, a bunch of other big guys we've been talking about. And more importantly, I think filling that gap are the women. And the way that Lucy Wildheart stepped into that, I'll take that fight, because Michaela Mayer in the meantime has been talking about taking on Katie Taylor. Wow!
Honestly, watch this fight. Watch this fight, man.
Yeah, no.
Lucy's a force to be reckoned with, man. She's a well kept secret, and honestly, she's about to unleash and show people what she's about. This is gonna be a big fight.
I'm pretty sure she just won pretty recently.
She has been winning. She's been kicking ass.
Yeah.
Every time I talk to her, it's a new win under her belt. She's now improved to 10-1, right? She's only got one blemish, and that was Estelle Mosley back in 2019, so pandemic times.
Right.
And that one was for the IBO World Light Vacant, and that one was held in France. Since then, she's just she's crossed the pond, started traveling, and she's become that road warrior kind of, coming to your country, I'm going to kick your ass and take your belt kind of girl. So, it's going to be nice to see her come in here and dish it out with Michaela Mayer. Michaela Mayer, 17-1. This one's for that vacant WBC interim world light title. So, Lucy's going to be fighting real hard for that, man. And I hope Michaela Mayer doesn't think that just because she's a last minute replacement that she's going to just be able to walk all over Lucy Wildheart, because I'll tell you, that's not going to happen. That's
Oh,
not
man.
going to happen. She's going to bring the fight to her. She will bring that fight to her for sure.
You rarely say this about the women, but Lucy Wildheart is ripped. She
Oh,
is
jacked, man.
tough cookie,
Yeah.
man. Tough cookie.
She
I think
is
I,
jacked.
I think I think she's gonna beat Michaela Mayer. I really do.
Honestly, I'm. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking
Now,
it's going to go to Lucy Wildheart. And then you know
speak,
what? I'm going to call her up and I'm going to have her come on and we're going to interview her and we're going to talk to her about it because she's friends with us and
yeah,
that's what it's about, man.
yeah.
And you know what? We're supporting her, and I think she's going to whoop Michaela Mayer's ass.
Now, guess what other news I heard this week? Speaking of Down Under, speaking
Yep.
of our Australian friends,
Let's hear it.
unbelievably, of all people in the world, I never thought I'd hear this, but unbelievably, our good friend Ebony Bridges, okay, called out Avril Matthew.
No way.
Not kidding.
Wow.
Not kidding. They want to go toe to toe. Now, Ebony actually has
Who
some kind of injury.
who wins the weigh-in?
I think
Us?
I think it was Ebony Bridges who is quoted as saying the weigh-in will break the internet. Like, yes, I want to be there. I want to be there.
Wow, that would be you know what, that would definitely break the internet. I think it might
That,
might cause a little interruption, just a little
yes.
one, little interruption.
But yeah, I couldn't believe it because here's Ebony. I think she got injured in her last fight. But the point of the matter is she's a tough cookie, right?
Oh yeah.
And although Avril lost her last fight, I think that's just because it was on British soil. But at the end of the day, that's going to be a great fight if it happens. I'd love to see that fight. Believe me, love to see that fight.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
as in on TV.
No, you'd like to be in person.
Well, because you're now winning all that money due to your affiliation with BetStamp.
Yes.
You can take me to Australia so I can watch that fight ringside.
I guess I could, right?
You just put me in your suitcase. What do you got in there, sir? Oh, nothing.
Nothing. No, I'll bring you my carry-on. We'll fly first class. That way we can both stretch out.
Looking forward to it. But isn't that it? So I think when I heard that, I mean, I think I was not grumpy at any point in this week at all.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, I've had a great week. It's been a week filled of great news and exciting news and breaking news. Like all of a sudden, a replacement fighter who we've been featuring for 2 years, is now stepping into like a co-main event on an undercard of a heavyweight clash. Like, this is really good for us, I think.
Yes.
Like, what gets better than that?
The fact that the Laura and Lee Wood rematch is happening.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Featherweight rivals run it back in Manchester on May 27th, guys.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, Carl's gonna have to take the train to Manchester, is he?
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, man. Mexico's Laura, 26-2-1, 19 KOs, captured that WBA world title by knocking Wood down in the 7th round with a stunning left hook at Motorsport Arena in Nottingham. This one was that Knockout of the Week award. It did win. Yeah, man. And then we got Lethal Wood here, who was ahead on all 3 judges' scorecards at the time of the stoppage, gets an immediate shot at redemption against Bronco, one of the most feared punchers in the world, guys. At the top of the stacked card that features the world title challenger, Jack Catterall, making his matchroom debut against Dara Foley, and Danny Ball taking on Anthony Tomlinson for the vacant English welter title. So this one I'm looking forward to. May 27th.
May 27th. That's coming up. That's pretty good.
That's
if Jack Catterall is fighting that other fellow you mentioned there, then who's Josh Taylor up against next?
Ooh, Josh Taylor. I don't know. I guess we should find that out, shouldn't we?
Because the English were clamoring for a rematch, but obviously that's not happening. So
yeah. So Taylor is taking on Teofimo Lopez on June the 10th.
Nice. Now, speaking of our Latino fighters, just to address Raleigh's question here, Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis, who you got?
Got to stick with my man Tank. I'm sorry. Just Tank is just, he's fought better. He's fought better opposition. He's got heavy hands. I know Ryan Garcia hits heavy too, but honestly, I'm going with my man Tank.
That's a great fight. Great division. Lots of great fighters in that division. Bit of movement up and down, but at the end of the day, great division, and that's going to be a great fight.
That's going to be a huge fight, man. And we've been waiting for this one for a long time. We've been waiting for it for a long time. So I'm just happy to see it get underway. I'm going to stick with my man Tank Davis. I think he's going to take it. I think it's not going to go. I don't think it's going the distance. I think both guys are there to make a statement. I don't see it going past the 6th round, to be honest. And I'm going to stick with my man Tank.
Wow. Out of curiosity, have you been following the Terrence Crawford saga?
Oh God. We're actually going to get to see him fight?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Like I said, I think I said it about a year ago. I mean, he should just retire, right? Take his millions, open up a gym, open up a promotional company, sign a whole bunch of unknown boxers, some of them that we've been mentioning, and make more millions just promoting youngsters. He's what, 39-0? Okay, is he ever going to get that 40? Well, only with credibility, only if he takes on Errol Spence. And
but we're never going to see that.
Right.
We're never going to see that. It's ridiculous.
Oh, so Raleigh obviously has your number. He's saying, don't see Tank beating Ryan Haney. Wow. Don't see Tank beating Ryan Haney or Shakur. Wow.
You know what? I don't see, to be honest, I don't see Tank beating Haney. But I do see him beating Ryan. I do see it. A lot of people thought that Rolly Romero was going to knock him out too, and look what happened. He ate a friggin' left and slept. That's exactly what happened, right? Everybody counted out Tank then. Tank is nasty on the inside, man. He's a small guy. He packs a serious punch, and he hits a lot harder than a guy who's 135, 140 pounds, man. Way more. It wouldn't be surprised if Tank and Ryan go the distance. Hey, it is a possibility, but I don't see it going into the late rounds, man. I think both these guys are warriors, and they mean to make, they're here to make their name for this one, man. They want to come in and they want to end it. They're not trying to be like, yeah, man, I kicked your ass, but we went the distance. No, it's somebody's going to sleep so they can put it to bed.
Right. It'd be like I said, great division. Good to see a division really heating up. Actually, that one is that's great. Quick question. Our boy Canelo, right? He's going down to Guadalajara, his home city. Okay, he's taking on. I got to give the guy credit for that. He's got balls, man. Going into Mexico, taking on Canelo, but he's saying he's got a chance. He's saying I got a chance, man. Canelo's getting up there.
So Ryder thinks he has a chance.
He does. He said, "Okay, I've got a chance. I've watched the videos. I know where to go. I know what to do." And actually, you know what? He's kind of got a good point. He's got a chance. But, I mean, it's something like 56 screaming Mexicans in Guadalajara that night. I don't know. That's going to be a tough one.
56. That's it.
Did you hear the cost of the ticket?
No.
Oh, my God. Wait, for a, what do you call them? Nosebleed up at the top. Because our guy JJ wanted to go, okay?
Yeah.
Talking fight wanted to be represented. Of course.
Yeah.
Okay. $10,000.
What?
Yeah.
For real, $10,000?
The thing is sold out, and now the scalpers are having a heyday.
$10,000
for one ticket in the nosebleeds up at the top. That is how popular Canelo Alvarez is down there.
That's incredible.
And I believe Guadalajara is in Jalisco.
Yeah,
or probably Jalisco. But that's gonna be a fun fight to watch, Josh. Just a fun fight because Canelo's either gonna take him out in the first round, or Ryder's got a surprise for him.
Maybe. Absurd. It is absurd. $10,000.
And well, actually, come to think of it, just for fun, You know what I'm seeing now? Now I'm seeing because we have a ticket section on the Talkin Fight website, right, where you can buy
Mhm.
tickets to fights. But now I'm seeing tickets made available for watch parties. You can actually buy the stream properly, and
Mhm.
then sell tickets. So imagine if you pay for this Canelo stream. How many I don't know if it'd work here in Toronto, but I mean,
Yeah.
if there are guys willing to pay $10,000 for a ticket, I mean, I think that's more than a Super Bowl ticket. I'm just hazarding a guess. I've never been to a Super Bowl game, but
You know what? It sounds around the same price as Super Bowl. I wouldn't lie. I've heard $10,000 tickets, but that's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
the last time I was offered a ticket, it was down in Vegas and it was ringside. I forget who it was, but it was just a few years ago, just before the pandemic, and that was a flat 10,000. A flat 10,000, but that was legit. That was a ringside seat. Actually, no, it wasn't actually. You know what? It was cheaper to sit ringside than 3 rows up because when you're 3 rows up, you're then within camera view, so you'd actually be on camera.
Oh, okay.
So that's where the celebrities chose to sit 3 rows up. But I remember the guy offering me a ringside seat for $10,000 flat for one seat, and that was in Vegas. I forget who that was. It was a big name. It was a big name. It was a few years ago. I can't remember. I was at the Hector Garcia fight. Really? Holy moly!
That would have been nice. That would have been nice. I
Paid
paid
eight hundred
800 for the
dollars for
ring.
ringside.
Hey, you know what?
That was cheap.
You know what though? 800. That seems reasonable. That seems like a reasonable price. Like that's not like if you want to sit ringside and you want to get sweat on and blood on and all that kind of crap. Yeah, no problem. Pay that money and experience it. It's great because I'll tell
Wait.
you when
Okay.
we get
Wait.
passes and we're ringside.
Yeah, but wait a sec. In other sports, if I'm behind home plate at a Yankees game, I'm not paying $1,000.
Yeah, but nobody
Maybe.
is.
Okay.
Who the hell's
Maybe.
paying $1,000
Maybe.
to watch the Yankees?
Maybe. I mean, that's what I say. Maybe. But
$1,000 will buy you what 100 Blue Jay tickets.
but what maybe not, maybe not. Oh, actually, with all those renovations done to their stadium, maybe. But what about front row seats to a concert? Like at the end of some are up there. But anyway, I'm just saying, 10 grand for a seat way up in the nosebleeds. That's when Jay told me that. What? These Mexicans are crazy.
Maybe we
They
could
love
write
it.
it. Maybe we could write it off as a business expense,
Well, cash in those chips.
right? Right. Better keep my winnings, man.
That's right. That's right.
Bet stamp, don't fail me now. Trust me, man. I'm gonna line shop and save up that money. That's what's gonna happen.
It's all good. It's all good. But I'll tell you this: of all the fights I'm looking forward to, Ebony Bridges, Avril Matthew, hook me up.
I'm just looking forward to the weigh-in.
I know. I got into an online argument once about that. I said, is it, because Ebony Bridges has started this thing, that she's started it. I mean,
Honestly, it's gonna be who comes out with the best looking crap. Like, because honestly, it's a battle. It's a battle of the skimpy suits. Let's call it that. We know one of them's coming out with pasties.
well, I'm trying to remember, like, if in history, like going back to the 70s, 80s, 90s, whether weigh-ins were really that important to the actual boxing fan, or whether it was just reported and on we go. But nowadays,
Back then, it all would have been done through magazine, right? Like there wouldn't have been so much press coverage, and all that kind of shit.
I don't ever recall a Muhammad Ali weigh-in. You know what I mean? I don't recall.
I do remember media workouts. I do have a couple of magazines that show back in the day, like media workouts of him getting ready for fights and stuff like that. That was a big thing, but not really the weigh-in. I don't remember the weigh-in.
Yeah, I don't remember, like, so nowadays, you've got both the guys and the gals showing us their pipes, and at the end of the day, they're fit individuals without a doubt.
Or we're getting a preview of what to see in the ring, because most of these guys are clapping the shit out of each other while standing in front of each other now.
Well, that's the fun. That's the one part of the weigh-in I don't understand.
We should start betting on that. Whether or not they're going to
Who's going to blink first?
Who's going to blink first and throw the swing when they're nose to nose? Hey, let's start having bets like that.
I mean, I really just don't get that part of it. Like, I just don't. Like, okay, now turn to face each other, and Eddie Hearn's always standing behind him.
Yeah,
you count on it.
One day, one of those guys is going to get popped. It's going to be a wild swing. Somebody's going to duck, and Eddie Hearn is going to just.
Was it Jake Paul who took Floyd Mayweather's hat, or the
Yeah,
other way around? That was pretty funny.
And then he got it tattooed on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
did
you hear that? I purposely have not reported on this because I just don't care. But Jake Paul's now going to fight Nate Diaz.
I heard.
Yeah.
I heard.
I don't care. I don't care about Jake Paul. Yeah, if he can fly back and forth between ring to ring, let him do it. But
you know, somebody's gonna knock him out.
One day, I mean, talk about a YouTuber who is an influencer, but he's not really.
Hey, you know who I'd like to see him get in the ring with? John Fury.
That would actually be quite funny.
You know what, Jake Paul? There's a challenge, and I guarantee you the man does it for free. Right. I guarantee you John Fury goes in there for free to knock you out. And I'd like to see it. Travelers rules. Travelers rules. Jake Paul, John Fury. You heard it here on Talkin' Fight.
Yeah, I agree with Tip.
I agree too.
He shouldn't be fighting anymore anyway. Why? You know, he was making the quote unquote right moves by taking on at least a real fighter, so to speak. Yeah. But at the end of the day, yeah, John Fury, that'd be a good one.
That'd be awesome, man. Do you see how heated he was?
Like, yeah, I know.
John Fury was so heated. Like, the people were like, yo, you have to calm down, John. He's like, no, F that up. You know, like, he was ready to, he was ready to fist him up, man. Yeah, honestly, I'd like to see it. I'd love to see it. I think it'd be great. But you know what? I don't think Jake Paul would take that one, man, because that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, he wouldn't want to hurt the old man.
No.
I mean, John Fury with a couple of pints of Guinness in him.
Yeah, a couple of pints of Guinness. He gets out there without a shirt on, and next thing you know, he's throwing haymakers. Oh, get over.
See you, Jake.
Over.
See you, Jake. I don't know. But as we said a couple of years ago, great. Jake did his thing. He brought a bunch of new people in to appreciate the sport of boxing. Good for him. Job done. Now get out of here. And yes, funnily enough, Nate Diaz. Who cares?
I'll tell you one thing. The Diaz brothers do have probably some of the best boxing in MMA. I believe their coach is Mark Delagrate, who is one of the best boxing coaches in the UFC. And you know what they do? Got pinpoint accuracy. And if those guys can throw punches. Nate Diaz, he's shown that many times. He's got pinpoint accuracy with those hands. And if he's gonna fight somebody in the MMA world, you know what? It might as well be Nate Diaz, because you know what? Nate Diaz knows how to box too. So right. it'd be a good bout. It'd be a good bout. Right. I like it though. It's just Jake Paul just flying around the world, fighting the people that talk shit. That's all it is.
We were talking about the girls earlier, and I forgot to mention this. I know we're running out of time, funnily enough, because about a half hour ago we were sputtering. Yeah, I didn't remember this. Clarissa Shields is getting back in the ring.
Yes.
I forgot to mention it. We were talking about Michaela Mayer and all that, and I forgot to mention that Clarissa Shields is getting back in the ring. I believe in Detroit, actually. So
Savannah Marshall, right?
You'll have to Google it. No, it's someone else.
Yeah, I know it is. It'd be great to see it again. But no, Hannah Gabriel's is who she's fighting.
Oh, that's it. Hannah Gabriel's right.
Yeah.
So Clarissa Shields will win that fight pretty easily. And there's someone else who's I was going to mention, but doesn't matter. I'm not gonna waste our fans' time looking at us thinking while we could be watching, because there is a fight starting at 9:00, right? In a couple of
Yeah, there is. There's a fight starting soon,
Couple of
guys.
hours,
Yeah,
like
that's the
Panama
it's
City, or
Rene El Chulo Santiago taking on Carlos Ortega, guys. Live 9 p.m. ESPN Plus or whatever platform you watch your stuff on.
I think is that a Pro Box show?
Pardon me?
Is that a Pro Box show?
No, this one is put on by All Star Boxing Inc. and ESPN Knockout. So this is I guess a new platform. Who I was talking about again? That's Rene Santiago taking on Carlos Ortega. That's who it's for the junior flyweight. This one is a junior flyweight showdown from Panama City.
Yeah, Panama. Yeah.
You know, Santiago will defend his WBO Latino title in a 10-round main event against the hometown hero Carlos Ortega. So yeah, definitely want to check it out, man. It's going to be some great fights tonight. Some good action for sure.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we got some young, hungry up and comers here, man, on this card as well. Orlando Martinez, Giordani Jimenez. We got Junior Mendez. So we got lots of good young up and coming talent on here, man. Luis Fernandez, who is 11-0, taking on Roger Guerrero. I'm gonna profile this kid, man. Luis Rodriguez Fernandez. He's 11-0 with 11 KOs, man. This super middleweight, and he's only 26 years old. He's going to be one to watch on this card, man. So definitely keep your ear to the ground. Watch this kid. Definitely very impressive skills. So yeah, check him out, man. I'm definitely going to get ready to watch it.
One of the things that I've started to do is talk to some of the gym owners out in California, because I'm looking for specifically for our Talk and Fight channel another host who can do the just cover Latino in general. I know that's huge, like spanning Mexico, Latin America, down through Central America, across the Caribbean. Like that's a huge geographic span. But anyway, I was talking to these gym owners in California, and I couldn't believe like what we're missing out on. Like,
oh yeah,
like there's a ton of fighting that's going on across the Latin American states, or like that we're not hearing about. Like we're reporting on what we hear about, but there's a lot more going on in the world of boxing that we don't hear about. So they're going to hook me up with some hosts who actually speak Spanish, so they'll be speaking to a Spanish audience on Talk and Fight in Spanish. Pretty cool. We had David Lara do it for us, but he was interviewing Spanish fighters from Spain, where again we often think of bullfighting, but boxing is pretty popular around the world, I got to say.
And no, it is, man, and especially the Spanish community. Come on, and the rivalries that come out of all those Spanish-speaking communities, man. There's lots of good rivalries.
Well, take a look at what I was saying last week, right? The Asian nations that we hardly ever hear from, but I'm starting to hear more now from the Vietnamese, from the South Koreans. We won't hear any competitive fighting out of China. They have to export their fighters to fight. But the Japanese, oh, I couldn't believe what I was hearing out of the Japanese.
Jin Sasaki. Yo, wow, what a knockout this kid came through with last weekend. That one was on the Monsters Brothers card. So Takumi Inoue, who actually captured his brother's old belt in that same event. So yeah, man, some great boxing action in Japan. Guys, the only thing is if you want to watch it, you gotta get up at around
2 in the morning,
3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to catch the fights. So you got to be a dedicated boxing fan to watch it. But I'll tell you, wow, what an event! What heart these guys have, and slugfest. These guys, they rule that flyweight division and those little guys, man. 102 pounds all the way up to like 108. Like wow,
yeah,
they're just crushing it.
And not funnily enough, but in addition to, I was reporting on so I always thought the rivalries were between the Japanese fighters and the Filipino fighters, but I was wrong. There's Thai fighters, Vietnamese fighters, Chinese fighters, Japanese fighters, Filipino fighters, and like I said, we don't even hear about these guys. So I'm looking for an Asian reporter as well. as well as a Spanish-speaking reporter to cover the Latino community. And we at Talkin Fight are on a roll. I'm happy to say, and I'm glad the fans are tuning in and they're chiming in. I got contacted today from a guy on the east coast of Canada who's complaining that we're not covering the east coast of Canada. It's like,
Really?
yeah, apparently. What else would you do in Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, PEI, or New Brunswick?
Drink screech and fight
And
each
fight.
other. Drink. Well, then you know what? Then I will do our Canadian brethren proud, and I will do my due diligence, and I will try to cover a little bit more of the East Coast of boxing for our fellow man out there. Definitely.
Yeah, because although we're separated by a whopping province in between called Quebec, which seems to be dominated by Eye of the Tiger, but they are doing a great job for their fighters in Quebec and putting them on a global stage. The promoters here, as we noted last week, they're increasing in size and stature. They've got a lot of responsibility to take on, and but I'm saying, wow, as you look around the world, I can't believe how popular boxing is. And I know one of the chaps in the chat room said earlier that MMA is, it sells. But in terms of global popularity, MMA might be popular in the bigger countries, shall we say, population-wise. Oh, we haven't even talked about Africa. Like, look at all the fighting that's coming out of Africa. Like, good, quality, decent, well-trained, ambitious, hungry fighters coming out of East Africa, so Tanzania, Uganda, Kenya, West Africa, everywhere from Senegal through Ghana on through to Nigeria. That doesn't even include places like Togo and Benin, Burkina Faso, then all the way down south to South Africa. In between, you've got Namibia. These are big countries, big populations, boxers in every city, and promoters hungry to promote them, but can't. And so along comes Talkin Fight saying, well, if you have an iPhone or two, we can live stream that stuff. And you know what? There's people who will pay to watch. And you know what? Those iPhones, like you've got one of those new iPhones, right?
14 Pro Max.
Eh?
Yeah.
Right. So
camera's sick. Camera's sick.
I'll bet that camera lens is better than the camera lens they used to shoot the Rumble in the Jungle back in the day.
I can tell you right now that this camera will shoot 4K at 24 frames, 30 frames, or 60 frames per second.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I can get some great coverage.
Beyond broadcast quality.
Yeah.
Are you coming up to Brantford with us when we go up to Brantford on May 6th, I believe?
You're damn right I am.
There's a big fight happening up there. And our good friend Eddie Wisdom's putting it on. He's invited us to come live stream from his event, which we're going to do.
Excellent.
And we've even offered to provide ringside commentators, which is what we've always said we wanted to do. So we're going to be there.
What has two thumbs and likes to talk?
And you know who's coming back onto the team? Well, he's already back on the team. Neil the Deal.
Oh, Neil the Deal back in the house. Woo!
He was on long-term injured reserve for about a year. He had some medical issues. Though those have been dealt with. He's back on the mic. And he's back on the mic. And he's going to join us in Brantford for that big fight. Excellent. So anyway, I think I've gone around the world now. I mentioned practically every country I can think of without even thinking about it. It just comes naturally. I mean, just
listen. If I ain't talking boxing, I ain't even talking these days. Let's be real. Like really, everywhere I go is about boxing or betting. So hey, you know what? Just do it.
And one of our popular shows that really went through the roof this week was Lou Eisen's show when he recounted one of Muhammad Ali's great fights. But in the midst of his commentary, he was talking about how the mob controlled boxing for about 60 odd years, like literally controlled. You will go down in the sixth. You know.
Hey Tim, remember Tim Witherspoon told us some of the inside stories. You know.
Yep.
And he's told us firsthand, you know, he took a dive for money. You know, he told us that.
Yep.
So
was that against Frank Bruno?
Yeah. Yeah, I believe it was. I believe it was.
Well, no. Some great stories, and so here on Talk and Fight, we're bringing in these stories from around the world. We're saying, hey, if you've got cameras, we've got the technology. Let's live stream it, and quite frankly, let's make some money together.
Yeah, man. And
And
we the only channel out here doing this.
the only channel.
The only channel working with the people, for the people, by the people.
There we go.
That's it, right? Well, I guess, wow, we just hit that 1 hour mark, man. That was easy. That just flew by today. Another great episode, another wonderful Friday under the belt. We'll notch that one. Honestly, I'm gonna get us a ring bell. And you know what? Every time we finish that episode, I'm just gonna give it a ding ding. Right? Just finish it up. Yeah. So Graham, any last words before we get out of here?
No, I'm truly excited, to see the Ebony Bridges Avril Matthew fight happen one day.
Yep.
That would be a dream come true. I'm really excited for our guys down in Florida right now who are going to check in with Creative Clash tomorrow. They've already done a bunch of broadcasts today, interviewing iDubbbz and a couple of other people. It's been they've done a fantastic job, as has our backroom crew producing as well. Hats off to Eric.
The lone wolf.
the lone wolf behind the scenes make this all happen. But it's been a great week for us here at Talk and Fight. It's a great week for boxing because we're multi-generational and going around the world having fun.
That's
what could be better?
Nothing could be better. This is it. This is fun. This is the best. Watching boxing, talking boxing, reporting boxing. What more could you want? Well, we'll leave it at that and let you guys ponder. So to all the Talk and Fight fans, thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of the Friday Night Panel with yours truly, Mike, and my man Graham, doing what we do best, reporting boxing, bringing you the news up to the minute every day. You know, we're here for you guys. If we weren't doing it, if you guys weren't here, man, we wouldn't be doing this. So we got to go get to work so you guys don't have to. Remember, we got fights to watch tonight. So you know what? We got to get to work, guys. Thanks for all the guys who dropped all the chats, all the comments in the chat, man. Tip Bayless, thank you. Rolly, thank you. Eddie Barrington, thank you. And yes, guys, we'll see you next week. Same time, same channel, new topics.
Thank you, Bet Stamp.
Yes, Bet Stamp.